All right, let's dive into a fresh week with some hot updates coming straight out of Chicago. For all the Bears fans out there, there's plenty to unpack, so buckle up. We've got new buzz surrounding the team's ownership situation, a potential big shakeup that could have serious implications for the long-awaited new stadium project. Plus, there's more chatter about the upcoming training camp dates for the 2025 season. Things are moving, rumors are flying, and we're here to break it all down for you. So let's kick things off with what's happening behind the scenes in the front office. The Chicago Bears are reportedly exploring the idea of selling a minority stake in the franchise. Now, for most fans, ownership moves like this might seem like just boardroom talk with no real impact on the field. But trust me, this is the kind of shift that could have ripple effects all over the organization, especially when it comes to funding that shiny new stadium everyone's been talking about. The Bears haven't been shy about their desire to get a new home built, and with the latest developments, it seems like they're trying to free up some serious cash. According to reports, specifically one that surfaced through Bloomberg News and was later picked up by Pro Football Talk, the Bears are looking into selling the minority interest that was previously held by Andre McKenna Sr., who sadly passed away in 2023. To handle this possible sale, the Bears have reportedly brought in Galatioto Sports Partners, a firm that specializes in these high-profile franchise ownership deals. The details aren't fully public yet, but there's definitely smoke here. And usually when there's smoke with NFL ownership stakes, there's a fire coming right behind it. One interesting wrinkle in all this is that the McCaskey family, the longtime majority owners of the team, along with investor Pat Ryan, apparently have a right of first refusal. That means they get the first shot at buying up the available shares before anyone else can jump in. But here's where it gets intriguing. NFL franchise values have been skyrocketing lately. With how hot the market is, the McKenna shares could command a price that even current stakeholders might balk at. We're talking serious money here, and for potential outside investors, this could be a rare chance to get a piece of one of the most historic franchises in the league. So why does this matter for the stadium project? Well, it's pretty straightforward when you think about it. Selling off even a small slice of ownership could pump a huge chunk of capital into the Bears' bank account. And with the stadium project expected to cost several $1 billion, every bit counts. Tax breaks from the state are still a question mark. And while that situation drags on, finding alternative funding sources becomes more and more critical. By moving a minority stake, the Bears could bring in hundreds of millions of dollars in private investment, which could then be allocated toward the stadium build. Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk also pointed out another crucial factor. Starting in 2024, the NFL officially opened the door for private equity firms to invest in teams. That's a massive change in league policy and one that's already drawing attention from multiple organizations. Smaller market teams, in particular, are expected to jump on this opportunity to improve cash flow and overall spending power. Look at what's happened with other franchises that have struggled with cash flow over the years, like the Cincinnati Bengals. Opening up to private equity could give teams like the Bears the financial flexibility to make big moves both on and off the field. The Bears, historically, haven't always been known for throwing around huge sums of money. Fans have often labeled them as conservative when it comes to spending, especially compared to some of the more aggressive front offices across the league. But in recent years, that narrative has started to shift. The team has shown a willingness to pay up for coaching talent and free agents, as seen with their pursuit of top names and major signings. Still, funding a multi-billion-dollar stadium is a whole different ballgame, and every possible revenue stream is going to matter. Let's break down the financials for a second. Andre McKenna's share of the Bears was reportedly around 2%. Now, the most recent valuation of the franchise, according to Forbes, put the Bears at approximately $6.4 billion. Do the math on that, and 2% equals about $128 million. But that's a conservative estimate. Given how NFL franchise values keep climbing, it wouldn't be surprising at all to see that 2% stake fetch somewhere between $150 to $200 million on the open market, maybe even more if bidding gets competitive. Think about it. If the right investor comes in with $200 million in hand, that's a game changer. Even if only a portion of that ends up being allocated directly to the stadium project, we're still talking about a significant financial boost. This could be the spark the Bears need to finally get shovels in the ground and start turning those long-promised plans into reality. Of course, the ownership situation is only one piece of the puzzle. The legislative side of things continues to loom large over this entire process. Recently, there was a key moment that fans and political watchers were keeping an eye on. The Illinois legislative session, which wrapped up at the end of May or the beginning of June, depending on how you mark the calendar, failed to advance a bill that would have provided the Bears with important tax incentives to help fund the stadium build. This particular piece of legislation never even made it to a vote, which says a lot about the complicated political dynamics at play. Mary Beth Canny, a state representative from Illinois who's been involved in the discussions, commented that they were very close to getting something done, but simply ran out of time. The next legislative session won't be until the fall, likely September, meaning there's going to be another lengthy wait before the Bears can even hope for movement on this front. And here's the tricky part. Kevin Warren, the Bears president and CEO, has been consistent in saying that construction on the new stadium will begin in 2025. But with each passing month, that timeline looks more and more ambitious, if not unrealistic. We're already halfway through 2025, and without legislative approval or firm financing, it's hard to see how ground will be broken this year. Sure, there's always the possibility of the Bears moving forward on a handshake deal or based on strong indications that a bill will eventually pass, but that approach carries massive risk. If the legislation falls through later on, the Bears could find themselves shouldering far more of the financial burden than they originally planned. It's a gamble, and with a project of this scale, one wrong step could lead to major financial headaches. One name that's been floating around social media in connection with leaked dates is Ben Devine. He's had a mixed track record with rumors in the past, but it's worth noting that he's hit on a few key pieces of news before. According to Devine, rookies and quarterbacks are expected to report on Saturday, July 19th, with the rest of the team showing up by July 22nd. That would put the first full squad practice on Wednesday, July 23rd. Some other sources have hinted at July 20th as a key date to watch, so we're clearly zeroing in on that weekend as the likely start point for camp activities. Once camp gets going, there's going to be no shortage of storylines for fans to track. First and foremost, all eyes will be on Caleb Williams and his development under Ben Johnson's new offensive system. The rookie quarterback is entering the spotlight with high expectations, and every throw, every read, and every decision he makes will be under the microscope. The left tackle situation is another hot topic. Will Braxton Jones be ready to roll when camp opens? How fierce will the competition be at that spot? Defensive in-depth is another area to watch closely, especially with pads going on and contact increasing. New free agent addition Darren Payne will be a name to monitor as the defense looks to step up its game. And let's not forget about the running back room. With DeAndre Swift locked in as the top option, the real battle is for the number 2 spot. Will Roscoe Johnson step up and grab that role? Could rookie Kyle Manengai make a push? Or is there still a surprise move coming, like a late signing or even a trade? On top of that, there's the situation with the team's top 2 draft picks from this year. Both Luther Burden and Kalen Bullock-Loveland missed most of the spring program due to injuries and other circumstances. Burden was there for rookie minicamp, but didn't participate in OTAs or mandatory minicamp after getting banged up. Loveland is still working his way back from shoulder surgery. Both players are expected to be full go for the start of camp, but how quickly they'll integrate and catch up to the rest of the roster remains to be seen. Training camp always brings a mix of excitement and uncertainty. Fans get their first real look at how the roster is shaping up, position battles start to heat up, and the countdown to preseason games officially begins. If you're hyped for Bears camp and ready for football to be back, now's the time to get loud. We'll keep monitoring everything from ownership updates to stadium drama, and of course all the action from training camp as it unfolds. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers are swirling around Halas Hall after what insiders are calling a shocking and controversial move by newly appointed Bears head coach Ben Johnson. According to sources close to the situation, cornerback KYLER Gordon has allegedly been expelled from the team following a reported polarizing incident during a closed practice session earlier this week. While details remain murky, early reports suggest that tensions between Gordon and Johnson had been simmering behind the scenes for weeks. The final straw, it seems, came in the form of an undisclosed action by the young defensive back that was met with swift and decisive action from the head coach. Some within the organization are said to be stunned by the move, describing it as both bold and premature. Gordon, a second-round pick in 2022, had shown flashes of promise in the Bears' secondary, earning praise for his versatility and competitiveness. But not everything was smooth sailing. Insiders hint at repeated clashes with the coaching staff, with one source calling the relationship between Gordon and Johnson tense from start. Ben Johnson, known for his no-nonsense, detail-oriented style, appears determined to set a new tone in Chicago, even if that means making some unpopular decisions. "He's sending a message," said a league insider. "This isn't the Bears of last year. He wants accountability, and no one's above that." Despite the headlines, no official statement has been released by the Bears organization or by Gordon's camp, fueling speculation about whether the player's departure is truly permanent or part of a disciplinary process. Some believe this could be a negotiating tactic or a wake-up call rather than a definitive cut. Still, in the absence of clarification, social media is ablaze with theories. Could this be the beginning of a culture reset under Johnson's regime? Or is it a sign of deeper discord within the locker room? For now, it remains a rumor, but one that could have serious implications for the Bears' locker room dynamic and their 2025 season outlook. Stay tuned. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.